Sweet. Okay. Let's go through these comments. So, Vapor Construct Limited, how warm are you? Well, I'm really warm. As you can see, I have got this heated jacket and it's running. It's about 3 degrees outside, I believe, and I just thought, because I knew someone would ask a question about the jacket, that I would have a thermometer in here with me. And it's interesting. It's 3 degrees outside, but I'm down in this kind of it's like kind of a shed space with a couple of big barn doors at the front, and it opens up into the subfloor. But it's actually 14 degrees in here, believe it or not, which is impressive. So, yeah, I don't really need the jacket on. Oh well, I want to wear it. JPB, has the jacket come off yet? Lol. Yeah, I don't wear it to bed, but I have been pretty much wearing it probably non-stop, actually. Oh, just throughout the day when I'm out in the sun, and I don't need it. But it's been real good. Get up in the morning. Our place is quite cold, so get up in the morning, chuck the jacket on, turn it on, and I'm good to go. And then obviously coming home at the end of the day, chuck the jacket on, turn it on, and just nice and warm, nice and toasty. I have a video in the works. That's what I ended up working on at McDonald's this morning. Just getting the main edit for that done. So that I think I'll be sending that into DeWalt this week sometime. And yeah, so you'll hear a bit more about what I think of the jacket. Apprentice Ethan, been doing a reclad. I got reclad going down at the moment. Finished cavity battens today. Sweet, I've been seeing those videos. Pretty cool. Cool time-lapse videos on your Instagram. If you're not following Apprentice, apprentice.ethan on Instagram, give him a follow. He's doing some really cool work. Apex Construction, Geezer. G'day, mate. Local chippy, local builder. Also a Milwaukee fan. Tell you what, we were talking about Milwaukee, the Milwaukee show. What do they call it? The new product release. New product. Is it release show? I think that's what they call it, or MPS. And we had a bit of a talk about that on the last live feed. And I was listening to a podcast that Kyle Stumpenhurst, who's RR Buildings, does with Mikey the Maker, and they were talking about MPS, and I didn't realise this. I didn't click when he did it, because he set up a live feed while he was there when they were in this kind of room, and they were going to do a big presentation. So he was sitting there live. He had like hundreds of people waiting live for these big announcements, and then they turned around and said, "You got to shut everything off. Here's some non-disclosure agreements. You can't say anything at all." And basically, there's like a big release happening in November that they all know about now, but they're not allowed to say anything about. So I think it was November. So that'll be interesting to see what Milwaukee's coming out with there, especially if they've got all that secrecy around it, plus all the stuff that they actually, all the new releases that they actually shared at MPS. NZ Elect, g'day. CJWC, g'day. Apprentice app, hey mate, I still need to get into trying that app out too. Just been a bit busy with a lot of things at the moment. Basically coming to the end of a project that I've been working on. We've just got some interior stuff to do and a bit exterior, and the kitchen I think is going in this week. So just sort of at that point of finishing up and then needing to kind of line up the next bit of work, which I've been trying to do as well. So that and making videos and everything else. It's been a really busy couple of weeks. Sean Keith, what advice would you give someone who wants to start a building apprenticeship? I'll have to dial back on my mind about 15 years ago and what it was like, just so I can get in that headspace. When I wanted an apprenticeship, I basically was listening around, asking around for any kind of building work. It just didn't have to be specifically a building apprenticeship. And I ended up being a hammerhand on a commercial site for Fulton Hogan building a water treatment plant in Nelson. And I knew nothing about building. I'd never been in building. So I guess you want to basically just find any kind of connection into the building industry. Like my apprentice was he was tiling before he started building. So basically, anyone that's asking for work within the building industry, go and help out. Just go and do something, and you'll get like some insight into what it's like to be on site. Talk to other tradies and get a bit of an idea locally what the best sort of avenues are. I guess I don't know too much about the what would you call it, the Polytech sort of pre-trade system, because I went through BCITO. Those two would be any like BCITO or Polytech. Give them a call. With the Polytech, they'll probably expect that you'd do a pre-trade course. So that's one avenue, do the pre-trade and then work through that, then possibly find an employer from that. There are a lot of employers that are closely connected with the Polytechs and would get you basically from those. Or you can ring up BCITO. They've always got connections with people looking for apprentices or even just labourers. Just getting on site, pushing a wheelbarrow around and just showing that you're capable and you can show initiative as well. I think that's sort of the initial steps. If you haven't done any, like if you're not on site or anything like that yet, then that's definitely where I'd start. You basically just got to pick up the phone and start making some phone calls, and just you got to be confident. You got to back yourself. You actually got to believe in yourself that you can do it, because when you're talking to people, that'll come through. And there's plenty of work out there at the moment. Plenty of guys probably looking for workers. They may not be looking for apprentices yet, but it's not uncommon for someone to be working just as a labourer for a few months before they even sign up to an apprenticeship or something like that. So just because someone's not signing up to an apprenticeship yet, you can always go, just be a labourer, be a hammer hand, just do whatever, just dig holes, because you know what they say, you got to start at the bottom and work your way up. And when I was a hammer hand, I was knee deep in clay bogs and all sorts. So concrete pours and freezing cold. It was good times. So yeah, don't be afraid of those kind of jobs, because that's where you start. It's not all glossy and that like we like to show on Instagram, or organisations like to show on Instagram, that everyone wants to be a builder and a building apprentice and that kind of thing. It's a lot of hard work, but it is rewarding and it is a lot of fun. Just checking the Facebook feed, someone's there, so thank you for watching. Sweet. So hopefully it helps. Let me know how you get on. It'd be, it's one thing to give advice and waffle on, but if you go and, action that advice and it works, it'd be good to know, because then I know that that's the right advice to be giving. So cheers. NZ Elect, tell us a dad joke. Well, the thing with dad jokes, you just don't say them off the top of your head. They're very situational. It's like puns, something happens and then you just come out with a dad joke. They're just sort of like, what would you call it, like moments of inspiration, they just pop out. But I'll try and think of one during this live and see if I can randomly pop one out. Moving along. Apprentice Ethan says, Chris, you're the mother trucking bomb. Thank you, Apprentice Ethan. You're the man too, buddy. Got Sparky Girl NZ in the house. Holla. Hopefully you're still here. You didn't just turn up and leave. Apex Construction laughing emoji. I'm feeling like that I might be a bit behind, possibly. So I'll move a bit quicker. Got Cam J's evening. How you doing, man? Apex Construction, new battery tech I'm picking, so that'll be back when I was saying about the Milwaukee's announcement that is coming in November. I was wondering that too. I'm wondering if they're jumping into the higher voltage, multi-voltage sort of game, because that's what everyone seems to be doing. Because everything else they released is kind of like what you'd expect from most battery platforms. So be interesting, be cool, because at the end of the day, the more brands that are doing that kind of thing puts the demand on other brands that say I'm using to release new products. Scrolling through. Not Grady, hey bro, hey. keep on scrolling through a bit. We've got a few people on. Just want to say, like, if you're a new follower or something like that, you just newly joined up, thanks. We've got like quite a cool community happening, especially in New Zealand, of with all these tradies and that. And I actually feel quite privileged being able to do these live events, because I really see everyone jumps in and gets involved, and it's kind of like we kind of get together and catch up with. Even though I'm kind of the only one talking at the moment, it's still cool. It's still great. I do have plans in the future of bringing other people in. I would like to do them live though. I don't know how I'm going to be able to do it, because I'm in Nelson and everyone's in other parts of the country. But there'll be scenarios where I'm out of town or someone's town or something like that, and we'll meet up, or someone's in Nelson and we can actually do live in person kind of thing. I think that'd be really cool. I don't really want to have to do it over over the live streaming from someone else's phone onto my phone, because I kind of have a little bit of a setup where I'm recording audio and stuff like that, so that I can put it on YouTube afterwards and have like an episode on YouTube. So I feel like it's something that'll grow. I feel like it's something that's quite natural to what I'm doing. So it's good. So thank you everyone for your support, because at the end of the day, it is you guys that are making it happen. You guys are tuning in and giving me the support and that. So I'd just like to reciprocate that and support you guys as well and that kind of thing too. So it's cool. I love the Graham fam community that we've got going on. And I'll keep scrolling, because I might end up getting behind. Yep, absolutely. Heaps of people joined in. So Vapor Construct, hey mate, have you tried the new Dual SDS steel drill yet? Yep, I have, like, one job so far. I'm really like amping to use it more. I'm kind of thinking about just like making some concrete blocks so I can have a good run with it. But what I might do is get a SDS chuck adapter, so I can use it for drill bits. Because I don't have. Oh no, I do have a job possibly coming up where I'm going to be able to use it. Be able to use that, use the cut-off saw, use a bunch of stuff. So it's a cool little job. I just need some confirmation, hopefully this week from them, and it'll be quite a cool bit of content as well. Really small job, but really cool. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really hoping that it does happen and happens soon, because I'm kind of thinking that's my next job. Scrolling through, and I've just got a comment on Facebook too before I go too far. That's from Aaron Falvey. Well done, mate. Keep up the good work. Thanks, bro. So Aaron's actually, I met Aaron a few years back, where a friend of ours rented our house. She's from up in Auckland, and she brought a film crew, and they filmed a movie, a feature film in Nelson. And Aaron came over and was doing sound. He just wanted to get in, and I'm going somewhere with this. I'm going to give him a plug for what he's doing. But so then they had this bit of a bunch of guys met through all this, and they started the Top of the South Filmmakers Collective, I think, something like that. So basically just brought together a whole bunch of like-minded individuals that love making film and short films and stuff, and they started the Top of the South a few years back, started the Top of the South Film Festival, and they're doing really well, and it's really cool to see. And I kind of get excited whenever I see their posts about stuff, because I kind of think back to when they're all just hanging it out of our house and just making this little feature film in Nelson. So thanks, Aaron. That means a lot. I must get involved with some of the stuff that they're doing, because maybe there's I don't know if there's is there many guys doing like this sort of stuff, making content for Instagram channels and YouTube, or is it more just the short film sort of thing? Yeah, so I'll keep scrolling through the Instagram. Sarah Blanche, randomly pop one out, your perfect opportunity. When I said that, I thought to myself, am I being like subconsciously dad? Am I subconsciously dad joking there or not? But I just didn't want to play on it too much, because I didn't feel natural. So dad jokes have just got to come naturally. Apprentice, least fave and most fave part of architectural drawings? Ooh, good question. My pet peeve is when they say different things on different pages. A lot of trouble we've had in the past is where one place we did, it was concrete retaining walls as part of the rear walls of the garage. There's suspended concrete floor on top, so it was all, the house was retaining. The panel drawings the measurements didn't add up to the same as the floor plan drawings and stuff like that. So there's a bit of kerfuffle about that. That's something I don't like. Also, what else? Oh, I mean, honestly, there's a lot of things, but I guess you gotta look at it like, are we talking about like full architectural plans, or are we talking about just some drawings from a draftsman as well? I tend to like the draftsman's drawings a bit better, especially when like some of the ones I've seen, they've got so much detail, but some of the architect's drawings often are a little bit vague, and so they've gone through the process and haven't added some things. But I won't say too much because I don't want to upset the architects. But sometimes the plans, they often have like a lot of information about something that's quite irrelevant. And in the past, I've had to like make a lot of phone calls and wait for like decisions to be made just simply because a few words went on the plans. But I think that's I think really what it comes down to, and I do say it to people, is that you want to get the builder involved at the start. Getting the builder involved from the very beginning means that some of these kind of tricky little details can be talked through during the design process. So that's one thing. What else? Because I'm just trying to think of the plans that I've seen recently as well, and what I've looked at and gone, and what I've, there was one last set of plans. He was speccing particle board flooring in 3.6 by 1.8 sheets, and no one's supplying that, and it's not really called particle board, it's basically the strand board, so the products are a little bit old, and I think maybe that's a little bit of something where we're starting to use newer products, but designers are often still just using their their preset templates on a drawing. And most favourite part of architectural drawings, I like it when they put a little bit of effort into like the details. So like the details, like the ones I'm looking at the moment, are actually like 3D details that he's made himself, and I think they're quite cool. So they just make it simple. Anyone can look at it and know exactly what they're meaning, especially if it's a little bit out of the ordinary. What else do I like? I do like it when there's actually a lot of information, and it's I guess it goes back to what I said before about being irrelevant. I like it when there's a lot of information that is relevant. So I spend a lot of time I will read and I will highlight what I've read and take notes, and it's great when all the info's in there. Just got a little notification down here. I'm going to push it. Hopefully it doesn't do anything wrong. Oh wow, I think this is like a question thing on Instagram while you're doing the live, so I'm going to just quickly click on it. Can you guys see that? If there was one thing you wanted to tell your Sparky colleagues, what would it be? Are you guys seeing this? I'm gonna find out when I scroll down. So that's interesting. That's cool. This is a cool feature. Well done, Instagram. Before I answer that, Aaron on Facebook, thanks brother, appreciate the plug. We need some builders for a cabin soon, making an action feature. Ooh, that sounds cool. I will, what I might do is share the link to something that you guys are doing or something. Send me some links that I can share to people so they know how to get in touch and watch your guys' stuff. Maybe some video links or YouTube links or something like that. Can't see it on the video. I'm doing this Insta Live on my phone, and the Facebook one's just straight from my computer. But what it looks like is Instagram's put a question badge thing that comes up on the live. So I'm going to find out if people can see it once I scroll down. But I'm going to I'm I'm gonna carry on with this question. I just got a whole lot of like reactions from someone on Facebook, so that's pretty cool. Okay, carry on. If there's one thing that you want to tell your Sparky colleagues, what would it be? And I think every builder would like to tell their Sparky colleagues to pick up a broom or a vacuum and clean up your shavings. But luckily for me, my electrician I use is really good, and he actually picks up the broom and he cleans up after himself, and I'm very grateful for that. What else? Sparky colleagues, what would it be? Maybe you guys can add that in the comments too, any of you builders. You can always give them some feedback too. Don't be afraid to post that. I'm getting a whole lot of reactions on the Instagram one now, a whole lot of hearts, so thank you. Yeah, I think just a general cleaning up. Electricians are, to be honest, I always find electricians to be one of the more cleaner subcontractors anyway. So that's my experience. Sounds like I'm greasing up tears or something. Alright, I'm going to move on. And so instruments and electrical, they'll be super heavy duty if they up the voltage. So that's be talking about the Milwaukee batteries again. Carry on. G'day, little Lacey. NZ Elect, 21 people watching. Yeah, man, I think we're maintaining that 21 number. That's pretty good. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate it. Instruments and electrical might be down in Nelson around New Year's. Cool, man. We might be able to hook up, do something. Do like a because you do industrial electrical stuff. So maybe I don't know much about it, but yeah, sort something out. Maybe an Insta meetup or something like that. Apprentice Ethan, have you grabbed the DeWalt track saw yet? Keen for a review on that. I haven't yet. I was going to be sent it, but they didn't have any rails in stock in the country, so that didn't come. But hey, pest the DeWalt. Tell them you want to hear a review, because I would really like to get my hands on that track saw. Totally would like to get my hands on that track saw actually. And with that, talking to DeWalt the other day, all the social media team, we're aiming to do a review once a month, so a review video once a month, so that's pretty cool. That works out for my schedule, and generally in a month I can kind of this month I was going to do something else, but I haven't quite finished it, but then the jacket came, so I went with the jacket review instead, and it kind of just depends on what work I'm doing as well. The cut-off saw review I thought was good. I felt it was a little bit rushed from my point of view, because I hadn't really done enough with it, and I kind of want to put an extended review on YouTube with it as well. So this little job that's coming up possibly will give me a bit more decent content to actually put together a full, better, bigger review. So because the DeWalt ones are generally the purpose of those are mainly for Facebook, and in my mind when I'm thinking Facebook videos, I'm thinking not very long videos, but then what I will kind of try and do is do an edit for that, and then maybe do the extended one where someone's actually really seriously considering buying something even more, so they can go somewhere where there's an even more full in-depth kind of review. So I guess that's once a month we'll get there. It's all kind of early days, just building up a process and a system and a way of going about it. I'm kind of doing, on the job that I'm on at the moment, I've been doing a bit of filming, and you've been seeing a few bits of those coming up on my newsfeed, or coming up on your newsfeed from my uploads and that. And what I'm hoping to do is do one decent sort of sized episode, and I was thinking do a what do you call it, a premiere on maybe YouTube, but a premiere on Facebook or something like that, so we can all watch it in one hit. It'd be like a how to go about a kitchen reno or something kind of video. And I don't 100% know how it's going to go, because I haven't really been filming purposely to kind of vlog it, so to speak. So I might have to do a follow-up vlogging kind of thing, and then edit in all the work into it or something like that. So it'll be kind of like a presentation of yeah, check this job out, it's really cool, and this is what you're going to expect when you're doing a kitchen reno, and all that kind of thing. So, yeah, something like that. Keep on scrolling. Vapor Constructs back again. Do you sub your pricing out or do you do it? At this stage, I've done all my pricing myself. So the house builder coming up, the takeoffs have been done by my merchant, so I've still got to check all that anyway. But yeah, I do the pricing. I'm using builder price, so it makes it a whole lot easier. I went to Red QS's workshop earlier in the year about pricing jobs and that. So yeah, at the moment I'm doing it myself. If the jobs are more sort of technical, maybe moving into that real architectural sort of stuff, I'd prefer to outsource to a QS to do it. But I'm not at that stage yet, so yeah, I'm just doing all the pricing myself at the moment. Gary Apprentice, thanks for that, no worries. Juanita Rose has joined. She must have the kids in bed. Kids were up quite late. They were actually still up when I started this live feed, which is pretty late for them. Carrying through. Prince Ethan said yes, so it sounds like he's going to hit a Pester DeWalt for me. Trader Girl NZ, yes, saw it. I'm guessing for the... Okay, yes, no, this is the bit before about the question banner. So I've got a couple of questions that are on there now, so I'm just going to keep scrolling and kind of catch up a bit, and then I'll jump into those questions. So that's really cool. That's a cool feature. Right, Backwards Builder. Have you heard the DeWalt battery router has been called back on a fault with the plastic base breaking? I haven't officially heard anything along those lines. I have heard that being said. I don't know what the exacts are, but yeah, I haven't heard it officially. I've been told hopefully I'll be able to do a trim router review in August. So that was the only kind of official thing, and that's probably more because of June, July, yeah, and that's because we've already got next month's review topic in mind. So basically, yeah, it was supposed to be, the last official date I was given was start of July. So that's next week, so we'll find out if that's still happening or not. Yep, can see. Hey, Aroha. So, see, I don't know everyone's names, so I'm thinking, but I'm going to guess because you're an electrician and you got the Māori Sparky just joined. That Māori Sparky joined. That I'm guessing that might be Aroha. Let me know if that's true. Vapor Construct. Don't moan when we cut flushes out properly. Oh, yep. So we're talking about the question before about builders and what they want their electrician colleagues to know. So yeah, don't moan when we cut the flushes out properly. There we go. Check before you drill through my bloody structural elements. It's a good point because that does happen. So what he's actually talking about there is along the lines of so drilling through probably floor joists and framing, doing holes that are the wrong size and the wrong location in the stud or the joist. Also, the other one is cutting out within, if you've got a jib board, if you've got a bracing element, you've got to be more than 90 mils in from the edge, and you've got to be within a certain this and that. So don't just go around drilling holes everywhere. Ask first. That's the key. Ask first if it's okay. Sharp and said, well said, Apex. Yeah, don't just assume you can run your cables or something like that wherever you want. Just always ask. There you go, young electricians and electrician apprentices. Don't just go, I'm just going to run this through here. Ask the builder, because you never know, you could get it wrong. Because us builders ask too. We ask when we want to know things. Vapor Construct says I can give you a review on Friday. I'm thinking that's for is that for the cut-off saw or is that for something else? It might be for the plunge saw. Apprentice, do you think architects and architectural designers should have mandatory hands-on carpentry training? I think there needs to be something like that. Like, it's a bit hard though to give you like you're on site for a month or something, it's quite hard to get you to be on the right site to learn the right stuff because, there's such a diverse industry of like things being done. I think somehow if there is a way to give architects an understanding of build processes, and that's probably where it comes down to. How would you do a quick fire kind of in a few weeks? I don't know, maybe there's something within the block courses that they do for apprentices that apprentices could add in as well. Architecture designers that you guys could do within your training. But yeah, there needs to be more understanding of from both sides. Like I think a lot of carpenters need to understand architects as well, and not expect them to be thinking like carpenters, because at the end of the day they're not. They're designers, and they've got ideas that they want to make. They want to draw a building that looks great, a building that's great to live in. And so everyone needs to work together a bit more. I think there's often a lot of animosity between different parties within construction projects. I mean, you've got project managers, architects, QSs, builders, health and safety. There's a whole lot of people, especially on the bigger projects, and they've all just got to get along, got to work together. And same with, like we were saying before, the electricians, and not just drilling holes everywhere. You got to ask, if you're not sure, it's better to ask. And carry on. Cut-off saw is amazing. Vapor Construct bought the cut-off saw last week and has used it. It is legendary. JPB, the builder, said everyone else has got it, so that'll be the trim router. Australia's got it. I don't know why we've had to wait so long, but oh well, it's one of those things. It's almost a meme, bit of a meme in itself. Maybe we could make a meme about it, make some dad jokes about it. I don't know. Right, so I am instrument electrical said nog, so I'm guessing, drilling through most nogs. Nogs aren't necessarily a structural member. They're required, but mostly try and drill through the nogs if you can. Right, we've got a couple of question badges. I'm just going to Trader Girl NZ. What advice would you give to building apprentices starting out? Now, we've literally had this question already, and that's why I've actually clicked on it. So we're going to say have a rewatch when this is over, close to the beginning, because I do say something about it. But it's along the lines of, and I think you're already doing it anyway, you're already into it. But for others, definitely that first bit I was talking about, basically along the lines of get in and do anything. Don't necessarily try and aim to get the apprenticeship. Just get in and get working. Hammer hand, labouring, pushing a barrow, digging holes. Prove that you're capable and that you can use initiative. So that's what I'd be looking for anyway. Sweet. So let's move on to the next one. Vapor Construct. Do you want me to give you my review of the rail saw on Friday? Bro, you post up whatever you want to. You don't need permission to do any of that sort of stuff. You can make videos of you using the cut-off saw, make videos of you using the plunge saw, because at the end of the day, that's all I did. I was filming stuff, and then the DeWalt thing happened, so it's kind of a bit more official. But just do it, post it up, because everyone loves it. I love watching everyone else's reviews of stuff as well. So bro, do some stuff with it. Show us what it can do. Show us some tricks and stuff like that. Okay, sweet. So that's that. And here we go. Next person. Have you heard of stop digging screw piles? If so, what's your opinion of them? I have heard of the stop digging screw piles. I haven't used them, so I can't give an opinion based on usage. But I do like the concept of them, and I have contacted them about pricing, and it seems quite reasonable. The particular job I was looking at, I don't think it would have worked for most of those piles, but there was about 50 odd piles, but a lot of them were structural engineered piles. But it would have been good for some of the smaller ones where they just had to be ordinary piles. But at the end of the day, they don't have a Nelson installer, so it was going to cost a lot more money for them to just come and do a few holes. So definitely if someone sets up a Nelson and it actually is doing it, I will absolutely consider using it on a lot of the maybe the decks and bits and pieces, because it just seems like a quicker, easier system. And I guess like all those things that started in Europe, generally they're pretty good. Let's have a look. We got more questions. We got this one. Sparky Girl NZ. What's the best heated jacket? I need one ASAP. Well, I've been running this one. I'm really nice and warm. I haven't felt the cold at all. Check the temperature. This is actually my moisture meter. Just happens to have a temperature gauge. It's 13.5 degrees in here. That's reversed. I like the DeWalt one. I haven't used the other one, so I can't say if I like them better, if I like this one better, or if I think they're junk. A few guys that might be still on here watching have the Milwaukee ones, so Milwaukee hoodie, Milwaukee, I'm pretty sure someone has a Milwaukee jacket, maybe just the hoodies. I think you have a particular friend in Queenstown that has a Makita heater jacket. So there's a few people that you could ask. I think at the end of the day, it's probably going to come down to your budget, what you got in your budget. But hey, the DeWalt one's good. Also, battery platform that you're on as well. So whether you have to buy the jacket and some batteries if you don't have that particular brand on your that particular brand of batteries. So sweet. So along those lines, but hey, buy the DeWalt one. It's good. I like the DeWalt one. And to check if there's more questions, set it up there, and we'll do a bit of scrolling. So Sparky UNZ asked the same thing there. Tracksaw is really good. JPB, the builder, is a hardcore DeWalt fan and is often giving me some of that insider info. Love it, bro. From Vapor Construct. Got NZ Elect. Stop digging, guys. We're at Build NZ the last few days. So that's the Build NZ Expo that has been happening, which finished today. I always thought that was like November or something. Maybe I should try and go next year. Cam J at Sparky Girl. What platform do you run with regards to heated clothing? So Cam Jays will be the man to talk to there, Sparky Girl NZ. He will have some pretty good info for you. I recommend sending him a DM and asking him about heated jackets because he might be able to help you out. JPB the Builder, it's called Having No Life. Come on, man. Tools are life. Apprentice, thanks for the insightful answers. No worries. Again, like I said, it's good if architects and builders and everyone else talks more. There's no point having animosity on site. Like, things will happen better and easier if people communicated more and stop being threatened. I think that's what it really comes down to. There's a lot of insecure people around, and you just seem to find it on building sites that it just sort of gets amplified a bit. Well, probably in any workplace anyway. Tell you what, just moving along quickly. I have to say, I actually wasn't really feeling like doing a live stream this week. Like I said at the start, it was kind of like being a bit of an up and down couple of weeks, just like stuff going on and just being real busy and just we just got so much happening. And I was just like, ugh. And then even tonight, I'm just like, I don't really want to do it. But it's kind of like when you get to that kind of, I think that's why I committed to myself to say every fortnight I'm going to do a live stream. And I've said that to myself. I don't care if people are unavailable to watch or something like that. But I just decided I'm going to do it. And I guess I didn't feel like doing it, but I'm really enjoying it tonight. And it's been really cool. Like, the questions have been awesome. It's really cool. That question tab, it's like, it's enjoyable. I feel great. It's kind of like giving me a boost. But you just kind of like, you got to just sort of get over your feelings sometimes, and you just kind of just got to do what you're meant to do and what you've chosen to do. And it's kind of like that whole, that perseverance and determination thing. And look at this, I'm really enjoying myself. And I could have just gone stuff it. Like, that's why I only posted like this morning about I'm doing a live feed tonight. I was thinking yesterday, like, oh, if I post this today, I'll have to commit to it, and I don't feel like it. But yeah, this is great. It was worth it. There's been some real awesome questions and interaction happening. So thank you again, guys. Thank you very much. Is that thank you very much? Yeah, that's how you say that. Cam J, it's almost time to go watch the Poms in the World Cup. Enjoy that. I'm not really sure because I don't really follow the sport much. I'm not sure which code you're talking about, or which World Cup. It could be the cricket, maybe. Am I guessing right? Let me know. JPB, keep this going, Chris. They're really good fun. Absolutely, man. Like I said, I'm committed to doing it every fortnight. So no matter how I feel, I'll just do it. So it's just the thing. I get a little bit. I think it's probably I get a little bit worried about it because when I don't feel like doing it, I don't feel like I'm going to be like sharp-minded to give an answer when someone asks a question. And I think that's the only thing I really worry about it is that I'm just going to like go, oh, I don't really have an answer for you, sorry. And I guess it's fine not having an answer, but I have, I just want to make sure that if someone's taking the time out to watch and ask a question, that I've got at least something I can say. So, yeah. And that was the dad moment. Well, yeah, I think that probably was the dad moment. Oh, we've got another question down here, so we'll fire that off. Here we go. How many hours a week do you work on average? More or less than you'd like? Not enough. So it really just depends what I'm doing and if I have got my schedule in order. So I've been working on what's called a default diary. So I'll put, say Monday. I think I'm going to change Monday morning, but Monday morning is basically go to site and work on site. And then I don't think I've filled my Monday with too much other stuff. I think every day I've kind of got it scheduled that I think it's about 2:30 till 3 o'clock. If I've got to do it, then that's like when I do my emailing and stuff, so that people, because I just get emails all the time and text messages even. If something's not urgently needing a reply at that moment, I will just say, right, 2:30 today, I'll sit down, have a coffee, and I will go through all my emails. Because I stop at about 10:30 and about 2 o'clock-ish, that's my break. So that's my kind of time for communication. Then sort of like Tuesday morning is when if I have a meeting with a client or new client, I'll schedule it in Monday morning, usually about sort of 9 o'clock, and then I have another one of those on Thursday afternoon, so that whenever I ever have to have a meeting, I'll just try and pick those two times first, say this time or this time, and then it means that every week I can just plan everything else around those. So if you look at my diary, it's got like all color-coded, it's got like time for pricing, time for backcosting jobs. I still haven't really worked, what's the word? Still not doing it exactly how I've written it down, but that's the goal to get to initially. It's also got what I do in the evenings, so even there's live things actually scheduled in every fortnight, or the night that I'm not doing the live thing, then I'm doing like content creation and editing and stuff like that. So I'm trying to schedule everything so I can be more organised. When someone asks me, hey, are you available to do this at this time? I can say, no, I'm not, but I am at this time. And then with that technically, when I look at all that time, if I was doing all of those things in a week, it really only gives me about 33 hours actual hands-on building. But that's fine because all the other things are part of building, like making money in business and stuff like that as well. But yeah, there's some days when like you get interruptions, like the Utes having problems and like those sorts of things really chew into those like your full days that you want to do. And like at the moment I'm trying to get this interior trim work done because the kitchen's going, and it'd be nice to just get in, get it done, and then go outside. And because I didn't really get there today because of the Ute. I was trying to sort that out. So I'm hoping tomorrow is a good day for just no interruptions and just getting it done. So yeah, got a question here. from Tradie GoNZ, what are your long-term goals? I've got a lot of long-term goals, long-term sort of ideas, dreams, so many things. I'm a bit of a dreamer, but what I'm trying to do now is stopping sort of being just a dreamer and being actioning those things that I'm dreaming of, and now starting to happen. Like I'd like to have a business that's running mostly without me being heavily involved in it. That'd be cool. I would like to have my house built. That's sort of mid-term goal, but trying to make it a short-term goal. I would like to have some other businesses that aren't building businesses, and that sort of things that are more with my wife, with Juanita. Some of the things and ideas that we've got going on there. I think I am quite entrepreneurial. It's just making more time. That's the whole thing with the diary, is making more time so that I can actually start to make these things happen and start to free myself up more, and that sort of thing. So it's definitely some long-term goals, and I guess heaps of short-term ones. So yeah, along those lines. I'd love the social media thing to grow more. Like I'm enjoying it. I feel like it's right to do more of it, and what comes with it. So I guess I think of it like with social media and Instagram. You think like the follow account and stuff. It's almost like a bit of a democracy or something. Everyone's following these big accounts and giving them heaps of follows. It's like a democracy, voting and saying, "Hey, we really like what you're doing," and we like to put you out there, and obviously, brands go after these people and want to work with them. I've got some ideas and that kind of thing. I've got some initiatives that I'd like to see happen within the industry, that kind of thing. So this is a good platform. Like one of my long-term goals is to see improvements in the building industry, and especially when it comes to the handling of mental health and basically asking your workmates if they're okay, and how to actually do that. I think there's a lot of struggle there with getting guys to speak up, because someone that's struggling with their mental health is not very likely going to speak about it, because they don't want people to think any differently of them. So often they suffer in silence. So what I want to try and do is work with some initiatives that give people some skills and scenarios and I guess tactics in a way to help someone, to help them to ask someone if they're okay, and also what to do if they find out that they're not, because I think people are a bit scared to ask because they don't know what to do if someone turns around and says they're not okay. So going back to the long-term goals, that's just one of the things that I would like to, one of the initiatives that I'm trying to work on behind the scenes, to get something happening within, especially with the construction industry. But you'll hear more about that as I find out more and action more stuff on that. So, yep, lots of goals, and again, not as much time to action those goals yet. There's more questions quickly. Okay. How do you fit in time for stuff to keep healthy, fit and sane? So I haven't really been doing a lot of that, and that's part of it, again, trying to get that that kind of diary sorted, so that I am making sure that I'm making time for those sorts of things. And one of the biggest things for me is actually family time. Just jumping in the car on a Saturday and going somewhere, and it might be walking around a park, it might be going to visit family or something like that. So that sort of thing that does refresh me. I'm very mindful of it, and I do know when I'm getting to the point where I need more of that. Keeping healthy, I probably need to change my diet a little bit more, less pies. I've been joking about that a little bit on Instagram, but I'm kind of being truthful as well. So change the diet a little bit is probably good. Fitness, I'm not very fitness minded. I don't don't run, I don't go to the gym or anything like that. I guess I would like to do something, maybe if it's just going for a run or something like that. So that's kind of future me. Maybe we'll add it to my short, mid-term to long-term goals, is more fitness related stuff. What do we got? We've got a few more questions. Got the emoji. Oh yeah, got one Ed is calling me Action Man. Hang on. I'll go back a bit further. So, Apprentice, can you explain backcosting? So, backcosting is, I'm mindful of time, so I'm going to rush. Backcosting is when you're running a job and you're basically checking that the actual cost of the job is running in line with what you've quoted for the job. So, are you going over on hours? Are you going over on materials? Or are you coming in under budget and that kind of thing? So it's just like a ledger, I guess you could say. The software that I use has a whole backcosting part to it. So once I've quoted the job, I export it into the backcoster, and it will give me categories that I can backcost, like labour categories. So if we're doing subfloor, or if we're doing framing, or if we're doing cladding, all that kind of thing, they can be in different categories, so we can timesheet it and it goes straight to that for the hours that you'll be doing. So then that'll tell me straight away what hours have I actually allowed, but not necessarily hours, but also how much cash is allowed for that particular task, and it will show me if I'm on budget and what sort of percentages, if I'm getting close to, if I need to hurry up, sort of thing. And same with materials, so I'll get my bills and import them all into the backcoster, and it will have the quoted materials, and then it will have that amount of cash for those particular categories, and so on and so on. So you can basically just track your job as you go, so you know if you're if it's all falling apart or if it's actually going really well, and any kind of course corrections you need to make. It's quite good too when you're partway through a job. Generally you should do a variation if something changes from what's quoted. But if you've saved materials on something, then you can just buy an extra sheet or something if you need to, and not worry about a VO. You should really do variations, but sometimes it's nice to just say, oh look, we saved money there and we've just used it there, and clients are generally happy as well, that kind of thing. So it's just how you want to play it and when you want to play it. Cheers for the detailed explanation, and that was for something back before. So we're back to Action Man. And we are down to Levi the Chippy. What's your most hated task job on site, either when you were an apprentice or even now? Hated task. I hate bats. I think we all hate putting bats in. When I was an apprentice, I'm just trying to think. Most hated. I'll get back to you on that. I'll keep it in mind and I'll put something up in my stories. Because there's been you're on a job and you're doing something day after day and it's just driving you nuts. Dwanging. When I was an apprentice, we were doing a retirement village. I spent weeks just going through putting dwangs in all the bathrooms, for all the different fixings, and that drove me nuts. I think it just depends, really. Sometimes I enjoy doing something, sometimes because of the type of job that we're on, I don't enjoy doing it. But yeah, again, I don't like bats. Stop digging in Z. When will you give our ground screws a go on a suitable project? I got it in mind. I don't actually have the job yet to do it on. But if you can set someone up in Nelson, where I don't actually have to pay for to actually get them here and pay for them to for accommodation or anything like that, something like that. Do me a deal and we can give it a go. Probably before, I'm just thinking, what might we got coming up? I don't think there's anything that specifically would benefit just yet from them. Definitely if I had a big deck to do, I think that would be ideal. Oops. Apprentice, cheers for that. So Instagram, hello. I'm vaguely remembering. I think you're from the UK, aren't you? I think you were my last, my first live stream. You joined in on that. That from memory, eh? All good. Our South Island guys are now covering Nelson, so keep it in mind. Sweet, I will do. Definitely will. It's cool. It's good to hear. Just check the time. We probably have like about a minute or two left, so let's have some quick fire. Oh, look at that, we've got 28 seconds. So no one's going to have enough time to type anything, so I'm just going to say thank you, everyone. Go hard. Post up heaps of stuff, what you're doing, just even if it's a little story. Yeah, okay. See you later. Thanks for watching. Thanks, guys, for watching the live Q&A. This is something that we started on Instagram. It happens every fortnight. Jump on and follow on Instagram and Facebook, Chris Donnelly Builder. The best place to watch this live Q&A live is, I believe, on Instagram, because that's what's got my main attention. And also subscribe to the channel for tool reviews and also some vlogs that are coming up, building related, and also beyond that too, some of the initiatives that I've got coming up. So yeah, thank you very much for watching.